What if I told you that people with ADHD don't struggle with executive dysfunction? It's kind of a controversial hot take because it goes against everything that we've heard about ADHD. But this isn't coming from me, this is coming from Dr. Bill Dodson, who is a board-certified psychologist who has spent his career focused on ADHD in adults. This past weekend, he came to speak with me and a small group of other ADHD coaches at an ADHD retreat, and he had some pretty revolutionary ideas. The biggest one for me was especially around executive dysfunction. He explained that people with ADHD have a different nervous system than people without ADHD. A person without ADHD has a nervous system that is motivated by importance, whereas a person with ADHD has a nervous system based on interest and engagement. If you've been doing your research on ADHD, that may not necessarily be new information, but think about it this way. If you've ever been able to get engaged and stay engaged with literally any task of your entire life, have you ever found something you couldn't do? When Bill asked us that question, every single person in the room shook their heads. We know that when we are fully engaged in what we want to do, we can do anything, which means that we are able to overcome any executive dysfunction challenges that we may struggle with in regular everyday life for things that we are not engaged with or interested in. So ADHD is not a deficit of executive dysfunction because executive dysfunction isn't an issue when we're doing things we're engaged in. I'm still wrapping my head around this, but it makes a lot of sense. That changes so much for how we treat ADHD, manage ADHD, and for how we define ADHD. I'm going to be sharing a lot more from what I learned from this retreat this last weekend, so follow along if you want to hear more. And I'm also, of course, available for coaching one-on-one and group, and all that info is in my bio.